people used to say very offensive things to me when I was in the toy aisle. And I used to come up with lies. I had a girl. So I was in love with this girl in high school. I asked her out like every year. She said no every year. This is pre-toys being cool. I'm in a Toys R Us. I found the Marvel Legends Dr. Octopus, the Toy Biz one. Remember with the tentacles? I know you know him. We all know him. Sure. I could not find him. So I had him in my hand. And this little kid is coming up and he was like, he wanted him. And I was like, my rule was always, if a kid wants a toy, the kid gets a toy. Wow. But around the corner comes the girl I asked out every year, and she goes, "Hey, Greg, what are you doing?" "Oh, that's my toy my nephew wants." And I went, in my head, I went, "Well, you should have fucked me." Put the thing in my bag, and I bought it.
Damn.
You could have dated me, or you could have been nicer, and your nephew would have Dr. Octopus.
Greg Stone, welcome to the conversation.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. This is very exciting.
You are probably the most famous person to ever be on the show, so thank you. Thank you.
I'm the least famous person in my house. So
well, what? What are you talking about?
Popular person in my house.
Wow.
At least love. Yeah, let's get in there.
Yeah.
Let's get self-deprecating immediately. I already know I like you, Bill.
There it is.
Let's blow our brains out together. I love it.
Oh, could we? As my wife likes to say, maybe I'll just go jump off a bridge. That's her. That's her means.
Is she Italian? That's a very Italian thing.
No, she's not. She's quite English, and I'm more Italian than she is. I'm the Italian one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if my mom was always like, "Oh, then maybe I'll just throw myself from a bridge." And it was like, okay, Dale. All right. Anyway, thanks for having me. And just so it knows, I hit you up. You didn't message me.
That's true. Yeah. This is where
you're more famous
home
than me.
of the stars. Yeah.
No one returns our calls. Don't worry.
Nobody returns, especially Pixel Dan.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Can we do a quick thing? I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have been doing stand-up for 20 years. Any East Coast comic you know or like, I could call right now. I love them. I'm friends with all of them. Not a single action figure reviewer will message me back. That is what is crazy about this. I could call. This? Yes, it's crazy, dude. These guys have these egos, and it's because they didn't earn it. They don't know shit. It's called new fame. When you're a comedian, sorry, this is a little bit of a rant. When you're a comedian, in the beginning, you're like, I'm the best. Then you do stand-up, and you realize that you suck. You just get humiliated, right? Then you build, then you become great. None of these YouTubers been humiliated. So they just believe the thing in their chest that is not right, and so they don't message me back. It's crazy. Wow. I'm like, this is insane. I've been doing stand-up for 20 years. I'm going to make your podcast better. I'm going to cut you off, let nobody talk, and be hilarious for an hour. No, just kidding. I didn't mean to cut you off, Paul. Go ahead.
No, that's perfect. This is what I want. This is great. I need to give my voice a little bit of rest.
Down.
Please cut me down. Please. My ego is out of control.
What happened with Pixel Dan?
He won't return our calls. We want to be his friend. We mention him literally every episode. My wife tried to get him to do a cameo for me for Christmas. He wouldn't return her calls. She was going to pay him.
We're starting. Today we turn over a new leaf.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck Pixel Dan.
No more liking. That's not new.
Oh, okay. Because you're saying
that's where we've been.
Talk about him. I'm over it.
Yeah.
This guy's not returning your calls?
Yeah.
That's it. I have a new beat. I'm going to start an entire Instagram. We should dox. Let's dox him. I'm going to get his address.
No.
Let's dox him.
Well, I would. You know, a little uncomfortable there. We kind of did, but it's okay.
You did? Oh my God!
We didn't share the information. We were just curious what the man does for a living. We just wanted to know.
We just did our due diligence. That's all.
Yeah. We just
you got this guy's address.
We were just. It's not hard. Everybody's out there. If you own a home,
if
you own a home,
wait, what podcast am I on?
Legal documents.
It's a toy podcast.
The toy podcast. We're talking toys. We're talking toys.
You can't have that many toys and also look up people's addresses. It's too many ingredients for psychopaths.
No. Well, I mean, yes. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to say that my wife did the research. I was not involved in that.
Love your wife.
She has a history of this. She's a big Chris Evans fan, and she found out where he lived because we were up there.
Yeah.
We happened to drive by. We took a detour to drive by his house.
Wow.
So I'm just going to blame her for that. All that related.
That's awesome and nuts.
yeah.
I hope she
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
not a fan of mine. That would be
No, she
scary.
doesn't care for you.
Thank God.
She doesn't
Good.
care for you. No.
Let's keep
She
that
also
there.
doesn't listen to the show, so she hears my voice right now, but she has no idea what I'm saying or what we're
That's a
talking
good
about.
one.
Sometimes she comes on. Sometimes she's the producer off screen. That's the best
She
part.
is
That's
very
her title.
knowledgeable. If she's sitting there and I like need information, I'll be like, "Hey," and sometimes she will respond. But now I think she's over playing Animal Crossing at the moment, so she's not
Like
going
a
to hear
little
any of this.
Alexa. She's like Alexa Junior.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
That's why I do all my deeds in the basement. I'm the basement dweller,
Basement dweller.
away from
Yep.
the wife.
Where do you guys live? Where are you from? I actually don't know.
So I used to live near Bill in Massachusetts, but
Yeah,
I
we
currently
grew
live
up
in
together.
Florida. Yeah, we
Right.
grew up together. Yep.
Great. No further questions, Your Honor.
No, that's all you need to know. Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's all I
it. I
needed.
mean, if you want to know more, it's well explained in other shows. That's the thing.
yeah.
If you haven't been listening this long,
listen to our back
no
catalog.
Need,
You
no
can
need
find
to
out.
hear our origin story. It's 200.
My favorite thing-
deep.
My favorite thing is when people like they live in Florida and I'll say like I found something good and they're like, "Hey, where exactly is this?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna tell you like where I shop. Get out of here. That's
Yeah,
my
man.
honey pot." So, Greg, let me ask you this: is collecting action figures the most embarrassing thing about you?
No. That's
No.
probably
Okay,
the
great.
only thing that's palatable about me.
Really?
Well, I'm pretty vulnerable. I don't know how deep you want to go. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know how
let's go
dirty
deep.
you get on this podcast, but
I don't think
No,
there's
I don't-
rules with podcasts.
well, I don't know if you have like a listenership that's like we're trying to keep this for children or something. But
Oh no, we got adult in the name.
Yeah.
I will say that's true. That is very true.
That's true.
I don't believe in embarrassing. I'm a comedian, so
There you
nothing is embarrassing. That's like crazy to say, but nothing embarrasses me anymore. I can just, once you realize that all of the things that are embarrassing about yourself are the things that make you stronger, that they make you who you are, then you're like,
Wow.
what am I going to be embarrassed about? Everything in stand-up, everything I've ever been embarrassed about, I've done as a bit, and the bit kills. So it shows you that all of the things you're scared to be about yourself are actually the things that make your people love you. You know what I mean? Look at you. You guys have a podcast about men collecting toys. That's how. This is what you do.
Yeah.
What's in like? That's crazy, right? Sorry to get so.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep apologizing this whole time, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that's kind of. You know what I mean? These are the things that make us who we are.
Well, I will say that is easy to say now as adults because like the stuff we do is considered cool, but in high school it was not cool. It was not cool to collect toys, watch Power Rangers. Like we
No.
had to hide that stuff.
Even comic books. There were
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
girls
No.
in comic books. Now, there's going to be one now who's like, I was the... Yeah, sure, you're the one.
Yeah.
You know,
You're the
there's
one.
like...
You're the
there was like-
outlier. Good for you. Good for you.
There
Holy
really...
Grail.
When I was reading comic books, there were zero in my school that knew anything about comic. But now there's a ton. These guys... Now there's cosplay. What the fuck? Me in high school? Cosplay, I would have lost my mind.
We'd be kings.
It would be amazing.
I remember in high school once I made I used to wear like the overshirt. Probably remember the overshirt flannels.
Oh yeah.
So I'm in shop class. I made a little pocket shelf for my C-3POs. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
And then a girl commented, and I was like, "You're going away."
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And that's what, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't want to get any, political or anything like that. I'm not trying to be political at all. But with kids now, they're all very into expressing themselves in these ways.
yeah.
Like, they're like identifying as, it's like we weren't even allowed to like Spider-Man publicly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh, you're like all the things that they're saying. You're like, you're no gender. God bless for even thinking you could try that. I couldn't even get Captain America. A Captain America backpack. It was a patch my brother made, and he made me a Captain America backpack, and I was too scared to wear it to school. So, God bless him.
Oh my
whoever.
God, I know. It is amazing. Like what's the difference in years here? Like we're 40, these kids are what, like 10? There's like a 30 years difference. Like what happened in those 30 years?
first of all, Iron Man the movie happened.
That's true.
That's
true.
huge.
That was a big deal.
I mean, also for us, like collecting toys is now acceptable. People used to say very offensive things to me when I was in the toy aisle. And I used to come up with lies. I had a girl. So I was in love with this girl in high school. I asked her out like every year. She said no every year. It was like, and then she ended up dating one of my friends. I'm stupid.
Once a year. It was like the same date on the
It
calendar.
was like, well, October 3rd. Come on over, Nicole. You know,
come on over.
You know, and I asked her every year, and then this is pre-toys being cool. I'm in a Toys R Us. I found the Marvel Legends Dr. Octopus, the Toy Biz one. Remember with the tentacles? I know you know him. We all know him. Sure. I could not find him, so I had him in my hand, and this little kid is coming up, and he was like, he wanted him, and I was like, my rule was always, if a kid wants a toy, the kid gets a toy. Wow. But around the corner comes the girl I asked out every year, and she goes, "Hey, Greg, what are you doing?" "Oh, that's my toy my nephew wants." And I went, in my head, well, you should have fucked me. Put the thing in my bag, and I bought it.
Damn.
You could have dated me, or you could have been nicer, and your nephew would have Dr. Octopus.
Could have had all 8 tentacles, but no.
Also, he didn't
for
want.
You.
I know he didn't want Dr. Octopus. I mean, why would he want this figure?
Doc Octopus?
Right. He didn't know. He didn't know. No one knew. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was embarrassing, but it's cool now. I guess, I don't know if it's cool. It's acceptable now.
No, it's cool. I mean, like, everyone's got Funko Pops on their desk.
Yeah.
I mean, is it cool? I mean, I tell you what it is. If people come in my house, they can look at them, and normal people still go, huh. Like, regular people will go, huh, okay. But other people might be like, oh, I love it, but I don't know that it's 100% normal to have this nightmare.
Maybe I just don't interact with any normal people because everyone
I don't know
like
who I'm doing
at
this
work
for
is like,
oh, at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't open? Do you open any of them?
Oh, I mean, that's just a wall. I mean, there's like
that's just one wall of many.
A museum.
Yes. Oh, good.
So like, no, that's all the Star Wars Vintage Collection, which came out in, was it 2004? I think it was something along those lines. And I like the card backs, so I just collect them for the card back. Essentially,
I have,
and I never opened them.
It's pretty wallpaper.
I couldn't throw away that Cobra Commander classified card back from the.
Is that from the Hiss?
HasLab. Yeah.
Ah, nice. I haven't even opened my Hiss yet.
The Hiss at all?
Haven't even opened it.
He doesn't open anything. He doesn't open anything.
I have a backlog. The kids take up all my. I don't know how Paul gets to go to Target every single day.
Every day I go.
Take up every day. Paul's there. Doesn't matter. It's the same Target over and over again. Snaps a photo of something.
That's content, man. It's content.
What do you think of the Rattler? You're collecting classified? Then I take it.
I 1000% will be getting the Rattler behind my wife's back. 100%. I am going to have to come up with a lie that is like, oh, I ordered this 3 years ago before we had kids, and they just are putting it out now because I have to get it. It's too cool.
It is cool. My wife checked the credit card bill today, and I have the accounts linked through like the shared account for the house and like the card I use for like my Hasbro stuff. So she saw the spending for the Cantina playset, and she's like, "What's that for HasLab?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I might return it."
I might return it.
The
classic line. I'm thinking about returning it. How many times I might return it? You're never returning it. Nothing's getting returned. That's so funny. That's the line. I might return it.
The most comedic things are me trying to. I might return it.
Who knows?
The most comedic things are me trying to hide all the HasLab and Mattel Creations crowdfunding things that come to my doorstop now.
See, I live in Queens, so I have no space. So it's not even money anymore. It's like there's nowhere to put this shit. But I know we're probably moving back to Jersey. But I have the Dragonfly coming, and I might sell it because I need the Rattler. Rattler's top 3 G.I. Joe things. But I also just got this. I was showing you this. This thing is awesome. Another guy who kind of big time me a little bit. I'll be honest. Did you guys see the ramen toys?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, this is probably one of the best.
Showed that off right before last week trying to, yeah.
I think I'd gotten it that night. It's like one of the best things I've ever seen.
Engine of Vengeance, but not official Hasbro product.
Well, for me, it's just Luke. It's Luke Cage's car. So Luke. I don't know how many people love Luke Cage as much as I do. I love Luke Cage, so he had to have his own car. Him and Danny Rand would be driving this thing around. The Flames, I'll never put batteries in them. So, but this thing's awesome.
Oh, it takes batteries too. Wow, they went all out.
Oh, you have no idea how much they went out. It comes with swappable fenders with lights, swappable back fenders. These all pop out.
Wow.
These all pop out. 3 different hoods, 3 sets of tires, light up tires, 2 engines, stick shift that moves. The seats recline and go back and forth. It is unbelievable what they did to this thing. I messaged them and I was like, "Hey guys, I love what you're working on. Any way I can help. I would love to promote this because I have fans who don't really collect toys, but I like to introduce them a little bit to it."
Sure.
And they kind of like big time me a little bit, and I was like, "Hey man, I wasn't looking for free shit. I just wanted to help because I actually respect what you're doing." But again, action figure people think they're fucking gods. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, in a way, they are gods because they're creating life.
Yeah.
Little tiny plastic life. So in a way, I kind of get it.
But they're also destroying lives by the money I'm spending, and my wife is mad that we can't get her kid braces.
Oh, we were talking about braces today. Lisa needs braces. Yeah. I mean, toys are expensive. Toys are more expensive now than ever before.
I just saw your video, by the way, on this. The fucking Ghostbusters?
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started.
Are you
Don't
crazy?
even get me started.
Are they
What
crazy?
Are they doing? So, okay. So, Pixel Dan was tweeting about the He-Man figures because Mondo's also doing
Fuck Pixel
112. They're also doing the He-Man figures, and people are like, "Oh, they're going to be expensive as the Ghostbusters." And he said, "No, they're not going to be as expensive. It's a licensor thing." So, like, I don't know. Is it Sony? Like, Hasbro doesn't own Ghostbusters. Like, Hasbro owns Power Rangers. It's still, like, through Sony.
It is.
So, Sony's, like, pay us a really way too much money to make these, I guess.
Let me tell you this, and I know we know, but it needs to be said out loud. They don't need to charge any of this. It's all lies. I buy my kid toys, and they're $30 for a truck that big. You're charging me. The Hiss tank was what, $300-$400, something like that. I don't know how much it was. Expensive.
$350. It topped at $350.
You were there from the beginning. We're there when Marvel Legends were $8, and then because they were still marketing the kids, and then they realized adults have money, and then they realized. Not only do adults have money, but these guys have mental problems and have an addiction issues. So we're going to take every dollar from them. Yeah. Marriages are being destroyed, and they're like, we don't care. But they just haven't been slapped in the face yet. And there is a reckoning coming because you know what's happening now. Sorry, a little bit of a rant here. One, when we started, you couldn't get toys. So we were like, I got to get it before because you'll never be able to get it again, right? Mm-hmm. Now, any toy you want, you can get, and if you miss it, they will make it again. So do not there is no missing out anymore. Right. So eventually, enough people like us are going to be like, oh no, as far as Marvel Legends go, I told you this off camera, I had every single one up until, from Spider-Man Classics up until, I would say 2016 or 17. And then it hit a point where I went, I'm out. I'm like right now it's like I don't have enough space. I'm drowning in them. They're charging me out the ass. Now I pick and choose. You know, you don't. I that's why I got into Mezco because I'm like, Mezco doesn't put out. Mezco's my favorite company, and we can talk about dolls. I know you want to talk about dolls.
We'll talk about dolls. Yeah,
Mezco's my favorite because they do high end shit. You get a lot of good accessories, and they don't put. It's not every single day. They're not just ripping you off every single day.
It's not a series of 6. Honorable. There's no Build-A-Figure.
Yeah. I feel a little bit more honorable in that. It's like they'll give you like a, hey, look, this is our offering this month. And it's like, great, and I'm happy. It just takes them 9 years to send this stuff, but I don't care.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, they'll show you like the prototype, and then 12 years later, something that sort of resembles that will get released. But that's okay. All right, let's just jump into Mezco because We've talked about Mezco a lot because I have a couple of them. I have a Spider-Man that I think is from like Homecoming, but no like human portrait, just Spider-Man.
Right.
And then I had to get a Batman because it all started with Batman, with that Dark Knight Returns Batman, the big bulky Batman. And it's like we've never seen 1/12 size toys with cloth clothing, like tailored cloth clothing that look this good. Like it's unparalleled. Like there's nothing else on the market like this.
Right. And they do a killer job. Like, I mean, you can get cloth clothing from people. I know a bunch of customizers. Like I was telling you, some customizer made me this astonishing Wolverine suit, and it's my favorite. It's unbelievable. I just wish I remember their name offhand. But no toy company, you're right, has done it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to lead you to the question, which I think you want to say is, when are they dolls? And I'll say this.
When are they dolls? What's the line?
They've always been dolls.
They've always been dolls.
Every toy.
Since day one with G.I. Joe.
We've always collected dolls, man. Who cares?
Dolls. Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
You know who cares? That kid back in the 5th grade who was getting made fun of. They're not dolls. They're action figures. Leave me alone. That's who cares.
That kid's okay now.
Yeah,
look at that kid. Making money off the podcast. He's got his friend Bill. Bill's life's in shambles, but we're happy.
No. I got my health for now. I'm all set. I'm good.
You got your defibrillator or whatever, your breathing apparatus?
No, CPAP machine.
CPAP, that's right.
You know what's funny about that is, like, because of the time spent with it, I don't snore anymore without it.
Oh, your body learned.
It retrained itself. Wow. So now I can sleep next to my wife without it. Full night's sleep.
Wow. I'd like to say 3. 3 is the number of over 40 action figure collectors who don't have a CPAP. 3. I believe there's 3 of them. We all are Darth Vader at night.
I don't.
You're one.
You
do you?
But you probably need one. And you're all
No, my wife has one though. My wife has one. My son needs one. I'm good.
You're good.
My body also did the
perfect.
same. Yeah. You used to learn how to breathe through your nose, I think.
Yes.
And I think the same thing happened to me because I sleep a little bit better, but I can't sleep without it. I love it.
No, I love mine. Oh my, don't I? It's like when I can get to it, I found myself sleeping on the couch again, but intentionally. So like my adult life,
you're gonna die.
Eventually, yeah, probably. But my adult life begins at like 9 o'clock at night, and I try to will myself to stay awake, and it doesn't work. So like I'm constantly waking up in a daze at like 4:30 in the morning.
Bill, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Take some figures, sell them, get yourself a living room CPAP. Okay? Why are we living like this? Why not? I have 2 because I'm on the road a lot, so I have like a on-the-go one. When I'm not on the go, it's in the living room. Because why not? Maybe you want to take a nap during the day. You know, why are we killing ourselves? Treat yourself.
My wife.
Treat
my
yourself.
Wife would have questions. Why do you need 2?
Because I want to live. I want to be alive for my children.
I want to be able to see my grandchildren.
Yeah.
What do people do? I mean, this is recent technology. People just died back in the day.
Younger.
They died younger, yeah.
Yeah. And just were tired always.
That's what we need for Social Security, though. People need to start dying younger.
I get.
We're too healthy. We're lasting too long.
Man, that's a good call. We should just take CPAPs away and glasses. We should not have people shouldn't have glasses anymore. Let people
Which
go blind.
candidate is proposing removing CPAPs from Medicaid? We'll vote for them.
That's fun to run on that platform.
That's a platform. Yeah. All right, I want to talk more about. You know what? Fuck that. Robert Downey Jr. was just announced as Dr. Doom for the MCU. What the hell is going on, Greg?
So, this is crazy. I was at Cheesecake Factory with my friend Drew, and he literally is talking.
Barrymore?
I'm like, no. He's a guy. It's Drew Barrymore, my good friend Drew Barrymore. We were hanging out at Cheesecake Factory. So we're there, and he goes, I'm like, oh, they're going to announce who Dr. Doom's going to be. And he goes, oh, yeah, we're thinking this. He goes, you know, someone also said might be Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, I hate that. I hate it. Who would say that? That's crazy. I swear to God, literally opened my phone and went, they just announced Robert Downey Jr. And he went, holy shit. And at first, I hated it. I went, I hate this. And then I loved it.
Wow.
Now I love it. Of course. It's
Really?
amazing. Let me give you the breakdown.
Yeah, walk me through this.
My first reaction was knee-jerk. They want money. They're bringing back him. They're bringing back the Russos, right?
Yep.
But this isn't that play, right? You can compare that kind of play to, they're casting another race as a thing because they're trying to get whatever kind of money, and people get into whatever that is, right? But you go, okay, but if you do that, it's fine with me as long as the actor is good. As long as you got someone who understands the actor, I don't really give a shit. I personally loved, what's his name, as Kingpin. The movie, people don't like the Daredevil movie, but I loved... who's the guy who played Kingpin?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah. I was like, he honed the character, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
But this isn't that. They're not just replacing... this. First of all, this is a terrible analogy, and I'd like to retract everything I just said.
Sure.
I would like to say that Robert Downey Jr. We're getting Robert Downey Jr., okay? Yeah. We're not getting some dumb actor. You're getting one of the best actors of our time, a guy who, kept the Marvel Universe alive. And do we not remember? He had power. So that means we're also giving him power to make good shit again. And let's remember, the Russos are not dickheads. They made the best Marvel movies, aside from maybe James Gunn. I don't compare them because I loved Guardians movies. I think also 3. Maybe I cried one time during Guardians 3. At the very beginning, straight through the whole movie. Okay? That's the whole movie. I loved it.
It's not fair. They got little animals.
The Russos made one mistake, in my opinion, in Endgame, which was they kind of fucked Hulk up, but that's okay. All right, now they can fix it. Okay, that was my only issue. The Russos gave us amazing movies. Robert Downey Jr. gave us amazing movies, but also has power within that. Like now that he's there, they kind of got to listen to him a little bit, and it's great because he does that. Also, for going variant, I want to say this: people keep saying, he might be Doom will be a variant of Tony Stark. Listen to me now. Doom is never a variant. That means Tony Stark was a variant of Victor Von Doom.
Okay.
Doom is not a variant.
Wow.
If Doom exists, his ego, he is the original. And every other Tony Stark was the variant of Doom. And I think that might be a card we're going to play, which I think might be fun. Did you guys hate it? Did you love it? Did you hate it?
What do you think, Bill? What was your immediate reaction? Because I saw it and I was like, "This isn't real. This isn't real."
I was like, "Really?" I was like, this is what they do?" And I mean, I'm kind of outside of I love Guardians. I mean, I like to say that I promoted the first Guardians more than anyone else because I was actually excited for it, and not just like, "Oh, it's a thing," but like leaving it, I was like, "That's probably one of the best pieces of cinema that I've seen." Since a lot of the Star Wars, I was like, this is exactly what I want from a movie. But I was pretty tapped out of Marvel after Endgame, and some of the TV stuff that they put out. So I was just like lackluster, I suppose. Yeah. And then I've kind of been sitting with it. I'm still just not too excited about it at all.
Guardians 3?
2 years.
No, the Robert Downey Jr. news.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm just not too excited about it still.
So I'm a wrestling fan, and I heard a really good analogy using wrestling, and that is, if for whatever reason the announced card changes, you have to bring in a bigger star to replace the guy that's not going to be at the show. So they had to get rid of Kang. What do? Who's your biggest star? What's your ace in the hole? Bring back...
Bring back RDJ.
No, go.
No, there's a million great actors they could have hired. So my thing is...
Not like in the Marvel universe, you got Iron Man, you got Captain America. Thor, he's not on the same level. He should have been, but he's not.
So to your analogy, right? You're saying that they brought Hogan back, right? But what I'm saying is they could bring in Ronda Rousey. They could bring in a celebrity who's bigger outside of the Marvel universe to play Doom, and that's also... You just need someone bigger than the guy who played Kang, Jonathan Majors.
But who would that be? I don't know that I feel like Hollywood is now comic books. There are no movies that are bigger than these Marvel movies have been. And when the movie started doing poorly, that's when everyone got really concerned about box office. Like, our movie's done. Are we still going to go see movies?
I mean, look, I'll say this. There's a possibility that, yes, this was a very big possibility, probably 100% the possibility, that the Disney stockholders were like, you need to do something big and it's got to be this, right?
Yeah.
But Robert Downey Jr. and the Russos don't agree to that for a paycheck. They are not paycheck people, okay? They have money. They create great art. Robert Downey Jr. is not going to come back unless there's a great idea. And I honestly think, we don't know how it came about, but I believe when the Russos were tapped, then they were like, let's talk to Robert. We got an idea about this. Mm-hmm. I don't think that it was Robert who brought back the Russos. Also, that's also possible, but they're not doing it without a great idea. Now, let me throw this balance beam out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was what came to me. I would rather have, if you gave me a random director and a medium to do Fantastic Four or Doom, right now there's a current roll of the dice risk, right? You give me a random director I don't really know too much about and a random actor. Look, they could do it great. Or you can give me a variant Tony Stark, Doctor Doom with the Russos attached, that is Robert Downey Jr., that is a way better bet. That is a way better bet that they're going to pull off a better movie with a crazier twist than someone who tries to stick to the guns and just mediums it out. Because we've had look, the Marvel Universe has not been bad. It's been medium, and medium is worse than bad.
Yeah.
And
well, here's the other side of.
Is it just a safe bet just to get us to the X-Men stuff? Is that it? You know, stick around and then we'll give you the X-Men.
Possibly. Look, the reality is none of us know anything. None of us know anything.
I don't have a fucking clue.
They probably don't know either. It's changing minute to minute. Deadpool did amazing. Get Deadpool in every movie.
Here's in basketball terms, since all of your fans are probably basketball fans and
like
big sports guys, you know.
Yeah.
They did like those starting lineup figures when they went to Ollie's. That is true.
That's right. Yeah, that's very good.
The timer is down. They had a play. The play isn't working out. So what they're doing is they're just throwing the ball to LeBron. Now I'll tell you this: LeBron is going to get you got a good chance of LeBron getting that last minute score. And that's what they're doing. They're throwing the ball to three amazing artists. So worst case scenario, we're going to have something good to great. We're not going to have something medium. We're not going to have something bad.
I agree.
But what if it is bad? What if it is epically bad? What if they were like, oh shit, this doesn't work in reality? It sounded good on paper, but it doesn't work.
Look at their track record.
I have faith in the Russos. I do have faith in them. I do.
Look at their track record. Okay? Yeah. Anyone can bomb. But if you're killing consistently, you have a better chance of killing than people who don't. Okay? Like, that's the reality. You know what I mean? Like, they're throwing the ball to three amazing artists. Artists, not fucking paycheck directors. The Russos killed Endgame. It was fucking amazing. Winter Soldier was fucking amazing. Arrested Development was fucking amazing. How much amazing do they have to put out for us to go, all right, we trust you? Oh, okay. So Dr. Dolittle sucked? Sorry, Robert Downey Jr. Tropic Thunder was amazing. You saved the Marvel Universe. We wouldn't know comic books without you? Sure, you can take a crack at Doom. I owe you that.
I appreciated Weird Science. That was fun.
Wait a minute, was he in Weird Science?
He was.
Who was in Weird Science?
Robert Downey Jr.
He was like one of the bullies?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that. Yeah, it's funny to think of these people's careers before Marvel.
He was in Back to School. Back to School, one of my favorite 80s comedies. Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield.
He was in jail. He did some drugs. Anyway, so I feel in this situation, I feel for the Doctor Doom fans, though, who have been waiting for comic accurate Doctor Doom. Because this is try number 4, I believe.
We are all Doctor Doom fans.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are all Doctor Doom. He's the best. He's the best. But I trust the Russos with my child.
All right. All right.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm yelling at you. I'm very excited.
No, that's
All right.
That's fine.
No, it's good that you're excited. The passion.
It's an
is amazing.
exciting topic. Now, let me ask you this: do you think that Robert Downey Jr. is the forever Doom, or does he lead us to the 616 whatever version of Doom?
I think here's the thing, right? Well, this isn't what I think. This is what I would do. My idea for it was Victor Von Doom. He's Victor Von Doom. He is Dr. Doom, and Tony Stark was the variant. And so they're retroactively making Tony Stark the variant. So this way you're keeping Doom exactly what he was, but there are the rogue Dooms who became Tony Starks, and they became like the good guys. But how perfect of a villain is... Look, here's the thing we also have to remember, right? Everyone keeps saying the same thing. Well, no, because now he's kind of like a Doom villain for Iron Man. But no, Iron Man is dead. So he's still a perfect villain in the way of like, if Tony... They both want to save the world, right? Iron Man wants to save the world, but he's a good guy. Doom wants to save the world, but he thinks he's the only one powerful enough, smart enough, good enough to do it, right? So it's where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing, is Doom and Iron Man are already the same. Doom is that's what thing I love about Doom is he's not a villain to be a villain. Like in Secret Wars, he became a god because it doesn't sound nuts. It's because it's of love. He's an ego. He thinks he's the only one who can do it. Yeah. But so it's just different mindsets. This is not what you asked me. This isn't what you asked me, and I also could be wrong.
We'll get there. We got there. But do you think that... so obviously Doom is paired up with Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. People seem more excited about other characters seeing him now, seeing Doom, and thinking that it's Tony Stark. Do you think that is already cutting off the Fantastic Four at the knees?
What do you mean, people seeing him?
So the big thing I saw was when Tom Holland Spider-Man sees this version of Doom, he's gonna be like, oh, it's Tony. Like, they're excited to see that interaction.
Well, I mean, first of all, you're not going to see him. You're going to see a giant metal face. You know,
we never see him. We never see his face.
Eventually, they rip the mask off, and then people are going to go, Tony, and then he's going to be like, no, Victor. Tony was my dog. Tony was me.
You meddlesome kids. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you, meddlesome kids.
I mean, also, could they make... I do think that they could bring in a normal actor to be Doom, but I don't know. I say wait and see. I think what they have a great plan. And remember, some of these people remember what we said about Heath Ledger. That's the thing. That's why I don't fucking critique this shit. We all thought Heath Ledger would be a horrible Joker, and he was un-effing believable. So he's got the fucking chops, man. I don't know.
I don't think anybody is saying that he can't pull it off. It's just like, why? I don't know. It's a choice. It's a choice, and like you said, it could work out beautifully, but it's going to have people questioning it until it happens.
So one of two things happened, right? I think either the Russos went, hey, we got this idea, let's call Robert, and then Robert went, fuck it, I'll come back for this. Or they were like, you need Robert, and they went, all right, we can make this work. But they're so good that either one of those choices will work. Either one of those choices will be like, oh no, they're smart enough to be like, here's how we can make a great story doing this. Or maybe he's just Doom and they give him prosthetics.
It's not also, even. It'll just be the voice. It's just a VO actor Doom the whole time.
Right. I mean, Thanos. They have Thanos and Cable, and you know what I mean. Like, it's a possibility. That's also a thing that they
he just got the best actor. It's unrelated to his past roles.
Right. Robert Downey Jr. could be doing complete burn face under a mask, and we don't know. And that would also be great. We know nothing. We know nothing.
Do you think it's possible that somebody said, get me the guy from Oppenheimer, and then they got the wrong guy? Here he is.
And they went, well, I don't want to embarrass Robert, so fuck it. Let him be. I don't want to
tell him.
I mean, Fassbender, Cillian Murphy, they all would have been great. You know, I was excited for all of them. But I'm also like, I'm a fuck it, I trust my people kind of guy. You know,
there you go. I think that's what you got to do. You gotta dance with the one that brought you.
I have one thing I did want to add before
Sure.
You changed subjects, and I'm
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't remember what it was.
Well, that's good. That's okay.
Doom.
I can edit this out. We can just wait here. What do you think of
That's
it?
all right.
Yeah, we'll come back
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm excited. Yeah.
You can call me later tonight and be like, this is what it was. Edit it in. Make it happen. So you were talking about you used to customize your own Marvel Legends figures. Now, I was always so envious of people who had talent and that could do that, because I always had these ideas, but then I would try to get out like the Milliput or whatever that clay was and try to do it, and it would never work. It would never work.
Well, that's why I got into
Sculpey.
custom.
Super Sculpty,
yeah.
the green stuff.
Super Sculpey
Yeah.
was awesome. But that's the thing I liked about it, right? You didn't need to have. I'm not an artist. I'm not someone who can draw, but I used to do it like I can take different parts of different figures, put them together. No one's good at it until you practice and you get better. Talent is bullshit, right? Hard work. Hard work is the thing. But yeah, I mean, I made my first one was an Archangel figure. I used what was it? Silver Surfer. Yeah, it was like a Silver Surfer. These Redeemer wings from the Spawn.
Yeah.
And a He-Man head. And then I painted the whole thing, but you use tape. I taped it out, so it wasn't just no skill involved. But it just took time. For me, action figure customizing was more about the guy who will take his time will do the better job. So if you're the guy who's going to thin his paint out, do a primer, your figure's going to come out looking pretty good. But if you're a guy who's like, I want this now, well, then also, buddy, you're not doing it for the right reasons. Because building the figure is the journey. Having the figure is not the reward.
Right.
That makes sense.
Remember when I built my own proton pack, Paul, out of Beware of Dog signs?
Did you? I don't remember that
Did.
part of it. I know you have like a
Yes.
very professional looking one. You built it out of
That I built.
Beware of Dogs. Was it good?
Yes, it was all made out of like thin styrene cuts and everything.
Wow. Yeah, I do not have
That is
the patience for any sort of thing.
Oh
like
yes,
that
was.
no.
Well, I didn't have. The
I would
kids at
not
the
thin
time
my
either.
paint. I would watch like tutorials on the whoosh, and people would be like, sand down like the joints so that there's no paint rub. And I was like, no, make it red right now. White,
Yeah.
I don't want to see through. More paint.
Yeah, but it's not for you.
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Yeah, it's not for me.
I made a figure, and I wasn't like great. I loved it. I loved doing it. It was fun. I made a figure for the Foosh Christmas. They do like a Christmas swap,
Yeah.
where everyone
Yep.
makes a figure and then they whatever. And I made a figure, and the person wrote, like it was like, this sucks. I made a really good figure for someone else, and I got shit. And I worked real hard on it, and I was like, I thought it looked good, but these nerds are bad people. It comes back to fuck Pixel Dan. Nerds are bad people. We're all super villains.
You keep that guy's name like in your wallet in case he ever like comes up again. Like I
got a
remember
list.
you.
I got a list.
I remember
That's
you,
true.
Otter Lover 72.
Yeah,
I like
there's a list.
outside of this podcast. I'm a real jerk. People come up to me trying to talk about things, and I'm like,
Outside,
it's great.
you're a jerk
Like
here.
the people that listen to I'm a jerk here. No, but it's true. Like people that people I'm associated with will talk to me about the show, or like they'll find out that I have the show, and they'll say, "Oh, such and such is coming out." I'm like, "Yeah, that's," and they're like, "Oh,
They're trying.
really?
They're trying to
They're
talk
really
to you on
trying.
your level, and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Get out of here."
Get out of here! You don't want me to run
That's so
circles
funny.
around you."
I was telling my wife your story about getting the Deadpool popcorn bucket where you asked for it and the guy comes back and says they're all sold out, but there was one in the display, and you said to the guy, "You're not sold out. Go get me that one."
Right.
And I was like, he's a psychopath. Who would ever say that?
Wow. And you said that to a 17-year-old
I
kid?
did. He
just
was
trying
so
to-
friendly too.
Wow.
He came
you get
back
it?
with the wrong answer. I did.
He got
There you
it. He did. He got it. Yeah.
There it is.
He was showing it
little
off.
thing.
There it is.
Oh,
Last
wow.
one.
Did they
Last
do
one.
the Wolverine mouth one or no? Was that just
They
a
did.
thing?
It was AMC.
No, they
that
did
was
it.
an AMC
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's
This
funny.
guy was.
It
this guy
wasn't
was at
even a
Regal.
good joke, though. Do you think they had that plan before the Dune one, or it just sort of coincided? Because the Dune one is way worse, like in a good
No,
way.
that definitely they wrote that after they saw the Dune one.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's not even like it's nothing. Like they could have made it bad.
It's not. But they had to slap it together. I feel like they had to say, what can we do?
Just the popcorn
and
bucket.
then we can't have a lot of detail. Find the quickest factory that can turn it around and get it to the masses, and then that's it. And add a tongue.
I don't know if you know who they are, but they're fucking Disney. Yeah. They can get it done.
They can do it.
They can get it done.
They can get it done in an hour. They have slaves on command. They snap their fingers and children's backs break.
Yeah. Listen, I live in Florida. You don't have to tell me. I know what it's like down here. Yeah. Oh, boy. Wow.
I have a story I could tell you real quick, if that's all right.
Oh, I love stories, yeah.
This is in the custom action figure world. Mm-hmm. So I'd ordered a suit for my Dr. Doom figure. It was a cloth suit. I got it from this dude in Canada, and it took me, I can't think of this guy's name either, but they do really good stuff, about a year for it to come. Yeah. Now, I moved, and I was like, damn it. So I find out it's coming from FedEx. It got delivered to the wrong house. So I'm like, fuck, right. So I got to go. So I run. It's at this my old neighbor's house, and I knock the door. This just think Tony Soprano looking Italian guy comes to the door, and I could see through the door. My package is right. It's like right on a little like table, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, I used to live at this address, whatever. That is mine. That's my mail. Could I just get it?" And he goes, whatever, you know what I mean? He picks it up, and he goes, "It's kind of light though, you know. If this was heavy, I might have kept it." And I just went, you wouldn't want it. It's just like a Dr. Doom costume. And then he pulls his hand back, and he went, "What?" And I went, it's a Dr. Doom costume." And he was like, "This is too small for a Dr. Doom costume." And I was like, "It's for an action figure that I bought." And then this is like this whole, he's like, literally, he goes from I go, that's an action figure costume for an action, whatever. And he goes, "What are you, gay?" He said, "What am I, gay?" Which to this day, I don't understand the connection. Also, we live in New York. It's 2021. And I was like, "I'm not, but if I was, does that matter?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, man?" Right? And then he was like, "I just don't understand the toy thing. And I'm like, "I like toys. I buy them. They make me happy." And he was like, I don't understand." I'm like, "You didn't have toys growing up?" And he was like, "Of course I did." I go, "Wouldn't you want them now?" He was like, "Of course I do." And I go, "Why don't you get them?" He goes, "I don't know." And I'm like, "You could do it. Just do it." Have this huge conversation with this guy.
Wow.
We end up being friends. He's laughing.
Oh, that's great.
2 weeks later, I am in this. It's an Italian deli. They make the best sandwiches in New York. They just closed down. It's very upsetting. A&F. It was the best sandwich place. I'm sitting there. He walks in, and he goes, "Oh, Greg, don't leave." Runs away. Comes back with a box full of naked Barbies. And he goes, "My daughter didn't want these anymore. You want them?" And I went, "Thanks." I didn't want to, I was so proud of him for, growing up, for, understanding that I didn't want to, shut him down.
Yeah.
So I just went, "Thanks, man." And then I had a box of naked Barbie dolls that I didn't know how to throw away. Like, do I throw them, throwing them in a dumpster sad? I think the only way I could throw them away, I should have just put them on a random grave and been like, "Take these with you to the afterlife." But so that was my.
Do you think the moment he turned around to his buddy, it's like, "That's my buddy Greg. He's gay."
Oh, he's a gay little boy, man. Come here, little boy, man. I got girl toys for you. I got girl dollies. He called them dollies.
Dollies.
"Hey, you want your dollies?" Meanwhile, the guy Johnny who runs the deli was like, "Greg, what the fuck is going on here?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. This guy's outing himself. He's coming to terms with who he is as a person. It's great."
Like an action figure hit. That's the thing. It's like an action figure hit. You give an embarrassing toy to an action figure collector and see what they do. It's
like, I guess it's all the same. I was really hoping that interaction at the door ended with him taking out a tiny Mr. Fantastic and being like, "I'm gay too," pushing them together.
I actually wrote a short film about that story and filmed it, and the whole thing, it takes a crazy left, which is that he goes, "What are you, gay?" And I'm like, are you gay? And he's like, no, but I live with a man and I love him. Like, it turns out that he is gay, and I am not an action figure collector. The twist in the story is that I'm an angel who's come down to earth to release him, because he's dead. He's been dead for years, but he could never accept the fact that he was a gay man and happy.
I was going to watch it.
And it's not that good. And I release him into, I'm like the man who walks him into the afterlife.
You're the Sandman? Is that who does that?
I guess.
That's my son. My son is the Sandman.
Why did you throw sand in your
The Chainsaw Man.
No. So, my son's kind of been obsessed with the Mr. Sandman song from the Chordettes lately.
Oh,
but he's also a weapons aficionado.
How old's your son?
He's got 4.
Okay. All right.
So, like, I like to go thrifting. Goodwill's, like, my new fun home place to go and find stuff and, like, cool things. But he'll get, like, one week he got a chainsaw. My wife's, like, worried that he's becoming, like, this pervert/serial killer. So she sends me a video last night of him going, like, full out, like, in his underwear and his pajamas with a chainsaw, dancing around with a knife down his pants and a glove on his hand. At one point he sweeps his hand over, and in the background is Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes playing. He's just going around with a chainsaw. And I'm like, that's just regular boy behavior. Don't worry about him. Every guy did that. I probably did that. And you got kids now from me. Don't worry.
We used to make weapons in our backyard. Every kid made weapons. We used to take a tennis ball and
the stick,
shove nails
find
into
the best
it.
Stick.
Yeah.
Oh, you were hardcore. Find like the stick that looked like a gun.
No, man. We made like real weapons in our backyard that really probably weren't good, but we had a skateboard and we like glued like broken glass on it. It was like
cool.
It was psychotic, but you know, I never killed anybody.
I mean, Paul, you did backyard wrestling for years, so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Got those like the light tubes smashed in people's faces, and the little powder comes out and makes you blind. It was great. It was good
True
stuff.
story.
It's a true story. Yeah.
That's awesome. I did backyard wrestling for a little while too, but we were on a trampoline. But I loved it. I didn't care.
There was a trampoline too. Yeah.
You guys had trampolines?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a series of mattresses, Paul.
Okay, so there were 2 rings. One was a trampoline, but we were more professional. We used the actual ring.
Do you remember what my gimmick was supposed to be if I ever joined? Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't even remember you being involved.
So at a time in my life, we had no fewer than 7 chihuahuas.
Okay.
And your friend group, at least your wrestling friend group, it was trying to convince me to enter the ring as like the Beastmaster or something. But I'd have 7 chihuahuas on leash as I entered the ring. And that was the gimmick.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yes.
You could have been like the 101
funny.
Dalmatians, her husband.
Yeah.
He's got
That's what I was thinking.
7 chihuahuas.
Make him into a coat. That's wild.
Never came to fruition. Never happened.
We can make it happen now, though. It's never say never. Let's bring back backyard wrestling. Greg, you have a new special on YouTube. Nobody presents Greg Stone. I watched it, and I loved it. I gotta say, in my opinion, is very important to a lot of people. So I will say it was very funny. How did this all come about? How do you make a special?
Oh, well, I crowdfunded it. So the reason it's called Nobody Presents Greg Stone was because I put it out there. If someone wanted to give me $10,000, it could be their name presents Greg Stone. I don't care who it is. You could be Barney Penis presents Greg Stone. But of course I didn't think anyone would just give me $10,000 because that's crazy. But I also didn't want to go to networks because I didn't want it. I wanted it to be some random asshole who gives me their life savings. But I did a GoFundMe, and it was really nice to say, like, all my fans came through. They all donated, and we raised about $10,000. And I'm a regular at this club, the Comedy Cellar, which, if you know anything about stand-up, it's a great club. It's in my opinion, it's the best club in the world. And so they let me film it there. I hired a director, and we shot it. I worked on that material for like some of those jokes are 5-6 years old, but then most of it was in the past year. And then we recorded it and put it out. Really, that's really, I guess, it.
What costs money? Like, what are you paying for? Like the cameras and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I had 3 cameramen. We had and video editing is a lot. They use like high end cameras. They, I don't know. He gave me a budget breakdown. I could send you the breakdown.
Yeah, if you would, yeah. Because I think I could give you a better deal. We got three iPhones out there. I think we could do it. I think we could do it pretty good.
But that's the thing, right? You can do a special. You can do it for. I was like, I'm going to do it for whatever amount of money I raise. So the director was like, "Hey, I'm all in." He goes, "We can shoot this thing for $3,000. We could shoot this thing for $100." He's like, "But the more it costs, the more like you can do." Like my special was, I mean, I'm a professional comedian, so, but it was professional. It's like a professional thing we did.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, so the thing that saved us a lot of money was that the Comedy Cellar has a lot of really good lighting already. So a lot of money goes into lighting, and we didn't have to do that, which was great. And I didn't do a background. I wanted it to be at the Comedy Cellar, so it was like, there's a backdrop. We didn't pay for that. And that's that, you know.
Do you put your stuff on TikTok? I see a lot of comedians like putting their little like 90 seconds or so on there.
Yeah, I put clips on mostly Instagram because TikTok, I thought we were going to lose it, so I stopped going on. But
we could still lose it.
Social media ruined my life, so I don't like to be on it. So I'm trying to hire a guy again to just do all that for me because social media is.
Well, if you need a guy, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk off air.
Okay, let's talk off air because I might need a guy.
Yeah, we'll help you out there. Is there anywhere people can see you coming up?
My website's being redone, so you can check my website gregfstone.com. When is this? This is probably gonna come out this week, right?
Yeah.
I will say, if you like me, in the next month or two, I have a new podcast called Talktown. I think we're calling it Talktown. I'm not 100% sure, but it's hilarious because we shot 5 episodes already. I'm really excited about that. I don't know why I'm telling you. We don't even know the full name for it yet, but we shot 5 episodes. We think it's called Talktown. Also, I've never told anyone the name of it. Yeah, it's a podcast. We're building the perfect town.
You don't shoot a podcast. You record a podcast. Is there video?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
we're on video right now.
Rustling. What's that rustling sound? Who's responsible for that? Is that me?
Bill. Bill's
Is that you, Bill?
Yeah,
What's going on?
I was playing with a tiny trash bag.
Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah, I guess we
what you get. I'm not professional.
You're not professional. Come on, we got a real star here. What are you doing?
I was 6 minutes
you
late.
gay or something?
No.
Oh, Greg, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to get out there?
No,
Your
man.
website's Greg F. Stone. Someone already had gregstone.com.
Well, I thought I was going to be Greg fucking Stone my whole life, but then no.
Oh, there you go.
Greg F. Stone is easier for all my social media stuff because there is another Greg Stone who's an Australian actor, and he's got way better I think he's already dead, but he's still doing better than me on the Google searches.
Sure. For all my like emails and stuff, I have my name and then middle initial because my name is so common, and it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad that I can't get the actual just name. But I have lots of anger issues. That's fine. Greg, it's been great.
I had a lot of fun
recapping San Diego Comic-Con with you. I think we did a lot of good work talking about everything that was over there in San Diego.
Real quick, real fast. What were you very excited about for San Diego Comic-Con? What were like top 3 things?
Who, me?
Without context.
Oh, Greg. Okay.
Me?
Greg.
Oh.
Yeah. I talk to this guy all the time. I don't give 2 shits what he thinks.
Cobra Commander. The Cobra Commander figure, I wanted that. Of course, I'm not going to get it because I don't think Hasbro's doing it. Mezco reveals...
Wait, what? What do you mean they're not doing it?
I don't think that I'm going to be able to get it on Hasbro Pulse, and I don't want to pay eBay money.
Oh, we know a guy. We know a guy.
We know a guy.
He might have an extra because he got one for me, and I don't really care. So
really?
If you want it, we can hook you up, I think.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but that'd be very exciting.
We'll
he charged me 50 shipped. He charged me 50 shipped because I'm the one. I'm the classified collector.
Lil Steve
316. You're the man. Yes.
I do charge people to be a guest on their podcast. It's one San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure. No, I'm
perfect.
No, let me know how much, and let me know off air. I'm very excited. I would take it if you have it. But no, I'm not going to cross my fingers just in case. I don't want to put the pressure
Bill will
on
give you his.
It's just going to be in the box for the next 3 years. No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Mezco release, the Mezco, whatever. They're doing a Nightwing, which I'm so excited about. Nightwing's one of my favorite characters.
It's like Disco Nightwing. What version of Nightwing is it?
He looks pretty, because Mezco kind of does their own fucking thing sometimes. They're like, hey, but he looks pretty close. He's pretty accurate. He looks good.
Okay.
I think he's pretty, yeah. And the Rattler, to see the Rattler, that was exciting.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. But that turns out, I guess, that Robert Downey Jr. being announced was the biggest thing I was waiting on.
You didn't even know.
I know.
You didn't even know. Look at that. Greg Stone, thank you so much for coming on the show and being
I'll come back
famous guest.
Anytime you want. This was so much fun. I'll talk to you guys every week. I'm the third guest.
Every week. Listen, sometimes Bill is not available, so I will keep you on speed dial just in case.
Bill, when you get sick, let me know. When Bill gets COVID,
I'll take a week off.
I never get sick. I get tired.
You never get sick.
That's a bit.
You get tired. That's right. You take a nap. That's how you
take a nap, and I never wake up until like the next day. All right.
All right, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Do I leave?